Hi, this is Tim from datinginfo4singles.com, a website that covers everything you need to know for dating success. And today I'd like to discuss dating myths that can crush your chances of success. Men, are there dating misconceptions that are holding you back and keeping you from attracting women? If so, it's time to learn how to crush these myths. How often do you find yourself saying, "I wish I knew how to attract women"? Don't worry, you've got plenty of company. How many of us go out on dates hoping we'll make a great impression on a woman, only to end up disappointed? If you've been on the losing end of this battle, you may start losing self-confidence, and this can communicate itself to a woman. Part of your problem is that there are various myths and mistaken notions that may be holding you back. Let's destroy some of these right now. First of all, number one, women will tell you what they want. Wrong. Just look at the difference between what women say they want and what they actually do, and notice the contradiction. Women get an idealized picture of romance, beginning with the happily ever after fairy tales they hear as children, all the way up to those romance novels they snap up in bookstores. While they would never admit it, women respond to specific behaviors that are simple and easily understandable. Fortunately for guys, these behaviors are learnable. In fact, they may already be a part of you. Secondly, it's hard to understand women. Actually, women are easy to understand. The reason men throw around cliches like, "Who can understand women?" is that men simply have to learn how to think like women. You see, women think emotionally while men tend to think logically. You just have to understand their way of thinking. Now, men make the mistake of expecting women to act like a man, and then they get mad when they don't. Big mistake. After all, when it rains, do you get mad at the weather? Or do you simply carry an umbrella to keep yourself dry? You can control the one thing and not the other. Now, one belief that women are inscrutable is disempowering and frustrating, and the other puts you in control. Remember, the important thing is not so much what happens, but how you respond to it. Number three, I already have the skills I need to succeed with women, and besides, there's not much I can do to improve myself at this point. Too often men give up in trying to understand women and say things like, "Bah, who can understand women anyway?" Now, this is natural. After all, men want to avoid drama and hassles, whereas women seem sometimes to feed on these things. The reality is, unless you're a movie star or a famous member of a rock band, your success with women can only improve at this point. You just need the right information and know-how. Now, number four, attractive women are exalted, and their opinions mean far more than those of ordinary women. Now, guys tend to get bowled over by good looks. That's because they are visually oriented. So when a woman is attractive, a guy will tend to see her as something precious and more worthy than he is. Besides that, we live in a beauty-worshipping society. Take, for example, our movies and TV stars. Ugly Betty aside, very rarely are they homely or even ordinary looking. Next, look at the covers of our magazines and consider the billions of dollars we spend annually on makeup, hair clothing, grooming products, and so on. Now, it's an unfortunate but well-documented fact that we tend to attribute more positive traits to attractive people than to homely or ordinary-looking ones. In the movies, the villains are often homely or sinister-looking, while the heroes and heroines are good-looking and attractive. Ordinary-looking people, especially when it comes to women, just don't get the same treatment as the beautiful ones. So, just remember that hot women are no better than anyone else. They just happen to get lucky in the looks department. In fact, they've probably been spoiled and caused guys to get intimidated, which can actually make it easier for the guys who refuse to let this happen to win them over. Number five, you need to trick or cajole or beg women to get them to go to bed with you. Now, this is probably the biggest myth of all. Women enjoy sex just as much as men do, and maybe even more. However, women control their desires better than men. The reason for this is not hard to find. It is, after all, the woman who bears responsibility of childbirth and raising children. They want to make sure that those they mate with can be good providers. It's instinctual. For this reason, women have to choose carefully. They usually go by a guy's status rather than his words. After all, anyone can say anything. Now, it's kind of an evolutionary programming, but it's not hard to figure out. You can actually learn how to make it work for you. Now, number 6, you have to be rich or famous to attract the good-looking women. Merely being a nice guy isn't enough. Now, women are not attracted to guys because of their wealth or fame, but rather how they can make them feel. Wealth is desirable because it offers security, but it really is just one of several indicators of a guy's status and personality. Now, it's easy to assume that money can bring security, and if someone is famous, it's because a lot of people made them this way. Now, this is known as social proof. However, these external factors can be simulated through the proper and appropriate behaviors. You don't have to be famous or rich to get what you want. Now, number 7, women are somehow better than men. Now, as I pointed out previously, it's true that our society glorifies attractive women. At the same time, our media tends to put men down. We're low class, we're only out for sex, we're a bunch of male chauvinist pigs, we're racist, we're oppressive, we have been the main cause of all problems throughout history, our primary interests are porn and football, we're not very deep thinkers. Now watch any of today's television ads and see how many shows show the guy as kind of a dim-witted oaf who needs to be set straight by the female character. Men are always the clowns in television ads. And on TV shows, men are the wife-beaters, rapists, and criminals. Now, women, however, have their own set of problems. If you have any experience with women, you know that's true. Now, don't misunderstand me. Women are wonderful, but they're not better than men. They're not angelic, goddess-like figures who have come down from high. Women are human beings, and they can be understood. Number 8, the key to attracting a woman is to get her to be interested in you. Wrong. The more you try to get her interested in you, the less she will actually be attracted to you. Nor does a woman know or care much about your feelings. Men don't think this through very well. What really matters to a woman? Her own feelings. If you can engender the feelings of curiosity and excitement in a woman, then you can attract her interest. How do you do that? Well, it's about being interested in her, not trying to get her to be interested in you. Whether she's interested in needlepoint, scrapbooking, romance novels, or Hollywood gossip, you have to realize that men and women frequently have very different interests. But the key to attracting a woman is by being interested in her and what she's interested in, rather than trying to get her to be interested in you and what you're interested in. Now, number 9, guys have to ask women out on dates. Fact. Asking a woman out on a date is the most boring thing you can do. Now, this is an old routine, and women have it all figured out. If you ask a woman out, you make her think of you in romantic terms. Now, you need to have more imagination. You're putting her on the spot. On the one hand, it can be seen as saying, would you like a free meal and drinks? And on the other, are you romantically attracted to me, or aren't you? What a choice. Why invest money in a woman if she isn't already interested in you? That's like putting money into an investment you know nothing about. You just need to read the signals to find out if she's really interested in you. Now, number 10, women should be able to automatically sense that you're a nice guy and give you everything you want. Nope. This one will cripple your whole life and turn you into a bitter old man. Now, there are more myths about women and seduction than you might imagine, and a lot of them are based on wishful thinking. You need to gain a better grasp of the female mind. infoforsingles.com/blog. See you there.